Hello friends, Sentinel H here, and welcome back to our Techguns tutorial series. We're getting very close to the end here, so today we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. If you look in front of me, there's a lot of things, but they all go by pretty quick. These are little simple utilities that you can use regardless of what armor you have in order to give yourself some of the benefits that these armor suits have built in. First things first, though, however, we're going to talk about the last suit of armor, the hazardous environment suit. Now, if you've played Half-Life, you can obviously tell that's where this is from. This is the HEV suit from Half-Life. Now, I'm going to go into... Oh, these guys are being so annoying. But we do need them, so we'll just keep them over there. And we'll just go away. We'll go over here. So, the HEV suit, I've got it on right now, provides a number of benefits. If we look at the chest plate, we can see that it stores 10,000 RF of power, and again, it takes one full energy cell to recharge that. So it's actually more energy efficient than the exosuit. Remember, you got 3,600 power out of one battery for the power armor. You got twice that, so 72 out of the exosuit. Now you've got 10,000 out of the HEV suit. It's got 4125 durability, so it's very durable. Now if we hold shift and we look at the resistances, you'll see that it gets a resistance on everything of 25%. It's just straight down the board, 1/4 of all of damage from all sources mitigated, plus penetration resistance of 15%. So it doesn't give you as much raw defense against melee and projectile weapons that the other two high-end armors do, but it makes up for that by giving you a larger chunk of resistance for the elementals, and especially the radiation and poison, because you get very little of that from the other armors. You also gain movement speed buff, mining speed buff, and a huge underwater mining speed buff, a chunk of knockback resistance, and then every part almost, I think almost, but maybe every part, has something additional added onto it. So you're gaining 10% knockback resist on the helmet, 25% on the chest, 15% on the legs, and 10% on the feet. So that's 10, 20, 35, and then 60. So you get 60% knockback resist. Not as good as the Exo, which has 80, I believe, and then of course not as good as the power armor, which has 100. If we look at the helmet, we see that it has oxygen gear listed at the bottom. The chest has something called the cooling system. The legs, they don't have any special thing on them. And then the feet, they give you a move speed boost again. Everything gives you a move speed boost. Fall damage minus 50%, fall height minus 3, and then step assist, as you would expect. Okay? Great. Now, it does have jump boost, unless that's just this. But it's not in the slot, so I don't think it would be applying here. Anyway, we'll just throw this jump pack away. Now, it does have a jump pack built in. Okay? So it's got a pretty high jump pack. I can jump on top of this. It jumps you higher than the power armor because the power armor is heavier. So it's a very nice jump boost. And of course, because of the fall height reduction, you can fall and not take damage from the same height that you can jump. You say we still took damage there. So basically it's designed so that you can jump and not hurt yourself. Now, let's go through the things that this thing has on it specifically. First, let's look at this cooling system. It's in the chest. What is the cooling system? Well, the first thing I thought of was, does the HEV suit let me step in lava? And the answer is yes. You can't get lit on fire while wearing the HEV suit. The cooling system prevents you from being lit on fire. I don't even take damage from this lava, but if you look at the chest, you can see it's draining power ridiculously quickly. So before you go swimming in lava, make sure you have a lot of batteries on you, because that was chewing through power like nobody's business. So that's what the cooling system does. It protects you from being lit on fire, and it protects you from the damage of lava. So you can fall into lava without worrying if you've got the HEV suit and if you've got enough power. Okay? Now, if we look at the helmet, it has oxygen gear. What does that mean? Well, at first glance, it seems to suggest that we can just go over here and go underwater and not lose any oxygen. Come on, go down there. But if you look, we are actually losing our oxygen bubbles. So what gives? Well, the HEV suit has oxygen gear built into the helmet, but it doesn't actually have an oxygen supply. In order to get an oxygen supply so that our oxygen gear can be effective, we have to craft ourselves some oxygen tanks. This is an item that you can use along with this oxygen mask to give you the same benefit, okay? The difference here is that it's built into our helmet. So the oxygen tanks are crafted with 2 compressed air tanks, 4 plastic sheets, and an iron plate. Oh, I just remembered that I didn't tell you how to craft the HEV suit. We'll go take a look at that in a moment. So the oxygen tanks, once you craft them, need to be placed in your Techguns inventory in this slot right here. This is the back slot. Place it there. It'll show up on the back of your character, which looks awesome. And now, if we go into the water, like we did before, come on, get down there. We'll find that we're not losing our oxygen bubbles. Okay? Instead, we are draining the oxygen tank. And this gets refilled with compressed air tanks. So all you need are some compressed air tanks to refill your oxygen tanks. So they last for a good while. So you can go swimming for a long time if you've got this oxygen gear and this oxygen tank. And if you don't have this HEV suit, you can give yourself the same benefit by crafting this oxygen mask, which is crafted with 2 rubber bars and 2 plastic sheets. Then you would go into your Techguns inventory, and this right here is the face slot. Place this oxygen mask in the face slot. We're going to take the helmet off. You can see it there, kind of looking like Bane. And now, with that oxygen mask on and the oxygen tanks on our back, we gain the same benefit. We can go underwater and we don't lose our air. Okay? Very, very good. The oxygen mask and the oxygen tanks are not very expensive. It's just plastic and rubber bars, and then more plastic and some compressed air tanks. So very early on, once you get plastic and rubber in Techguns, you could craft these and then be able to breathe underwater, which is nice. Now, unless you have something like the HEV suit, or the commando gear, which you can get once you get rubber, you're going to have a hard time mining, but the commando suit can give you the underwater mining speed boost. Not as much, I don't think, as the HEV suit, which basically completely mitigates it. Now, let me take a look at what I forgot to mention, and that's how to craft yourself an HEV suit. Crafting the HEV suit requires high-end components, as you would expect. You're going to need a glass pane for the helmet, along with 2 titanium plates, 2 carbon plates, and an elite circuit board. For the chest plate, you're going to need an elite circuit board, 3 carbon plates, and 4 titanium plates. These are the crafting components that all of the parts for this armor need. The legs are 3 carbon, 2 titanium, and 2 elite circuit boards, and the feet are 2 titanium and 2 carbon. So that's quite expensive for a total of 2, 4, 8, 10 titanium plates. Okay? So it costs more titanium than the exosuit, but less than the power armor. Now then, we got over here a lot of other little gadgets that you can apply to yourself. Now the HEV suit is all about giving you some extra buffs with some of these cool systems, as well as protecting you from various environmental stuffs. Actually, before we talk about that, I forgot. Let's go down here, get attacked by these zombies, and then we'll see how much it protects us. As you can see, it feels like it's on par with the amount of time it took for that health to knock off. Feels like it's on par with the exosuit. So as always, if you want just to be a pure tank, you're not going to beat the power armor. But if you want all these other cool benefits and to be tankier against other damage types, the HEV suit offers the most balanced protections of any suit. It's just straight percentages right down the board of everything. Alright? Now let's take a look at some of these things. The first one you're going to be able to get is the glider. Okay? The glider is the simplest. Now if I look at the recipe for the glider, it's a glider backpack and 2 glider wings. What does that tell us? Nothing. The glider backpack is crafted with 7 heavy cloth and 2 iron ingots. So you can get this really early on, because remember, heavy cloth is just wool and leather. Then the wings are 6 cloth and 3 iron each. You need 2 of them, Put them all together in a shapeless recipe, and you get the glider. The glider is another item that you need to place in your back slot. Okay? If you look at me now, I have a backpack on. This is my glider. As soon as you get heavy cloth, you can craft yourself the glider. Heavy cloth and iron. Very, very early on, very cheap. I probably need to do this in a Let's Play. Then you can jump off stuff and hold shift in order to glide. Now that sound effect is pretty annoying, actually. It's really loud, so I don't actually like that very much. It's cool, but I wish I could turn it off. That's the glider. It's pretty straightforward. Doesn't take damage. It lasts forever. Great. It's not, several mods have gliders. This one's Techguns glider. The next thing we can talk about is the jump pack. Now, you saw with the HEV suit and the exosuit and the power armor that when you jumped, you heard a cool sound effect and you jumped higher. That's because they had built-in jump packs. This jump pack you can get with whatever. You craft it with 2 iron nuggets, 2 iron plates, 2 compressed air tanks, and a glider backpack. It consumes compressed air, so you can refuel it with compressed air tanks. So just have some of those in your inventory here. Place them in the back slot. And if you look at the bottom right, you can now see, if I angle that right, the bottom right corner, you can see it has the percentage of fuel currently in the tank, as well as how many tanks you have in reserve, currently 11 and 100%. Now, this provides you with the highest jump height boost and fall height reduction in the mod, at plus 0.8 jump height, fall damage minus 20%, and fall height minus 8. So this jump pack is actually better than the built-in jump packs that some of the other armors give you. See that? It's really high. It's higher than the HEV one that we just looked at. And it has like a little... Yeah, it has like a little smoke particle there. Now, unfortunately, you can't use the jump pack with the glider, which is too bad because that would actually be really nice. But as you can see, you get a really big jump height boost. Really nice for scaling mountains and stuff. So that's the jump pack. Now, if you wanted the benefits of the glider and the jump pack, you have 2 options. The first is that you can wear a piece of armor that already has the jump pack built in. It's not the boots. Must be the legs. Oh. Interesting. We don't go very high. Oh. I need the chest on. So you can jump boost and then use the glider. That can let you traverse pretty large areas pretty quickly. Or... Oh, I didn't actually put it out here. I'm surprised at myself. I'm gonna have to go grab it. I really thought that I had it out here, and I'm stupid for not. Where are you, my lovely? Seriously, where is it? Let's go past it. There it is. The jetpack. Jetpack combines the glider and the jump pack. Well, kind of. It also uses fuel. The jetpack is crafted with a glider or a jump pack. And then 2 fuel tanks, 2 obsidian steel plates, 2 mechanical parts made of obsidian steel, and 2 rockets. Once you have equipped the jetpack in your back slot, you can see it looks pretty cool on me. You can then go into your Techguns inventory, make sure that your jetpack is currently set to be enabled. If you disable it, it won't work. And there's plenty of situations where you may want to do that, especially if you're underground. Then, when it's enabled, careful not to kill yourself. Because if you don't have fall height reduction, you could easily kill yourself with this thing. Now, it requires fuel tanks. Currently, we're at 98% right now, so that little jump used 2%. What this lets me do is fly, and then if you hold shift, it's the glider. and that will allow you. The glider allows you to land easier without taking damage. But what you can see is that we can combine the two of them to just stay in the air all the time. And cover large areas of ground. So the jetpack is really useful. Really useful. So that's one option. Now the jetpack doesn't combine well with armors that have jump boost, because it'll fire both of them. Which is a little odd. I mean, it still works just fine. But the jetpack sort of... With the jetpack enabled, it sort of cancels out or absorbs the jump boost. So you might want to turn it off if you're not actively using it. But that's the jetpack. It's really awesome. It's the jump pack plus the glider plus, even better because it's a jetpack, it's got, you know, rockets on it and fuel and stuff. Super sweet. It's not really that expensive either. Next we have the night vision goggles. Now these are great. I wish I knew about these sooner. I'm probably going to get them at some point, hopefully soon, as soon as I can really, in the Let's Play series, because these are really great. The night vision goggles are crafted using 2 rubber bars, a heavy cloth, an energy cell, 2 circuit boards, 2 glass, and an iron ingot. Now, of course, I'm going to need the fabricator in the Let's Play series if I want to make the energy cells, which is not going to happen anytime soon. But, night vision goggles. Put them in your face slot. You can see them up there, unlike Sam Fisher. Then you've got this button over here that says Enable or Disable Night Vision. If you hit Enabled, it flips down and starts using it. Now, you don't really want to do that all the time because you're using the power and you're not actually getting any benefit because it's daytime. So, I don't know of any shortcut key for this, so you just have to go in here and turn it on and off. But, if I set it to nighttime, and then I enable these night vision goggles, you can see that the effect that it gives you is actually really cool. I think it's the same sort of effect that the potion gives. Everything gets, yeah, you just gain night vision. Permanently, as long as it has power. It drains not at a super slow rate, not at a super fast rate, but it's definitely draining. And you gain night vision. It's really good. Very nice. I like it a lot. We're going to disable that and set this back to daytime. Now, along with the night vision, there's a couple of other things that I'm not really sure what they do. This gas mask, I have no idea what that does. You craft the gas mask with rubber bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the gas mask filter, and the stained and 2 glass panes. They don't have to be stained glass. The gas mask filter itself is a piece of coal surrounded by iron nuggets. Now I don't actually know what this does. It goes in the face slot. It gives a little gas mask, but I can't imagine what this thing does. I'm thinking maybe it protects you a bit from poison damage. Maybe. Probably not. Let's go and find out. I'm a little leery to do this because I might kill myself because this biogun is dangerous. Oh yeah, I gotta go into game mode 0. Yeah. Well, that's not what it does. Unless it... I don't know what the gas mask does. Like, I really don't. But if you find out, let me know. However, if you have the oxygen mask, the night vision goggles, and the gas mask, you can actually put these 3 things together into one item, and that's the tactical mask. So you get the night vision, gas mask, and oxygen mask, 2 circuit boards, and 4 plastic sheets, and you can gain the benefit of all of them with 1 face slot item. Okay? So you get this cool little tactical mask. It would go well with the commando gear. And now if we set it to night, we have the benefit of the night vision. See that? But if we put the oxygen tanks on our back, the tactical mask also gives us the benefit of the oxygen mask. See? And then whenever the gas mask does, and I have no idea. There aren't any like gas attacks in Techguns, so I don't really know what that would do. Anyway, that's that. We've got one more item to talk about, and that's the Antigravity Device. Now, this is a very endgame item. Very, very endgame for Techguns. You need the reaction chamber, because the Antigravity Device requires the anti-gravity core. That was the recipe that requires a nether star, liquid ender, which means you have to have that thermal foundations or whatever it is installed. And of course the heat ray focus, and then you can craft an anti-grav core. Now, you also need 2 elite circuit boards, and a glider backpack, 2 carbon mechanical parts, 2 titanium plates, and a nuclear power cell, which we have gone over. You craft the nuclear power cell in the fabricator and fill it in the chemical lab. Once you have all that, and you put it in your back slot, you can see it on me right there. What this does is it gives you creative flight. So by double tapping space, I can fly into the air just like I'm in creative mode, and I can fly around exactly like creative mode with the acceleration and everything. It's exactly the same. It's creative mode flight. So it's how you can get it legitimately in the single player. Would be great if you're building stuff, or if you have to quickly traverse something. I don't know. It's for controlled flight. The jetpack is not very controllable at all. It's not. You don't want to hover. You can't hover with the jetpack. This thing, of course, with creative mode flight, you can just fly around to your heart's content, however you want. It's got that cool sound effect. So that's the benefit of the anti-grav device. It does suck power, and it requires nuclear power cells. So you're going to have to find some uranium to use it. But then, you know, by this point in the game, you should already have some uranium sitting around. Now you've got a use for it. So there are a lot of these things in Techguns, a lot of cool utilities, and now we've gone over a bunch of them. I don't believe, let me just quickly check, that I've missed any of these little tidbits. I just don't know what the gas mask does. In the next episode, we're going to talk about some more guns. We're going to go over the sonic rifle and the nuclear death ray, which are the last 2 weapons. The scatter laser rifle here is still a work in progress in this version of the game, of the mod. I'll take a look at it and see if it's in a working enough state to talk about it. But, you know, that may have to wait until a higher version when it gets finished. We'll also talk about the alien blaster, and they'll be done with the guns. Although I don't know if I talked about the AUG. I might not have. So we'll go over the last guns that we haven't covered in the next episode. And after that, we're going to go up to the top, and we're going to talk about the mining drills. Because there are mining drills, multi-blocks in Techguns that I haven't gotten to work yet because they work with these special iron ore cluster blocks underground. I'll figure out how to demonstrate it, and then we'll go over these, and that'll be the last video of Techguns. The rest of the stuff in here, we may go over the explosive charges, but the rest of the stuff is all just little things. But if you want to see anything specific that I haven't talked about, let me know in the comments below. So, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We've covered a lot of stuff, a lot of cool utilities that you can use right now, and a really cool Half-Life inspired armor suit that you can work your way up to. So, thank you so much for watching. Join our Discord if you're interested. Don't forget to like and comment the video if you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for future videos. I'm SentinalH, and I'm signing out.